You've heard the term, right? Product-led growth. PLG. It's been buzzing around the business world for years now, and it's the strategy everyone wants to talk about. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and unpack why the story you've heard might not be the whole story. In fact, it might just be a myth.
I mean, the promise is just so tempting, isn't it? This idea that you could build a product so good, so slick, so perfectly in tune with what people want, that it just sells itself. No big sales team, no giant marketing budget, just pure unadulterated growth, all coming from the product itself. It's a dream scenario for any founder, for sure.
And hey, it's easy to see why this idea took off. We've all seen the giants that supposedly rode this wave to success. You know them, you probably use them every day. Dropbox, Slack, Zoom. They basically became essential utilities overnight, and the story goes they did it just by having an amazing product. They're the poster children for this whole movement.
Okay, but here's where we need to pump the brakes a little. This is where the dream meets reality. Because when you actually look under the hood of how these companies operate, you find out the story is a whole lot messier and, frankly, a lot more interesting than the simple hype suggests.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Pure product-led growth? It's a myth. It doesn't exist in the wild. This idea of a product just floating out there in the ether, magically generating millions of dollars all by itself, it just doesn't happen. Not even for the biggest names in the game.
So here's the real breakdown. The myth says the product does all the work and you can just fire your sales and marketing teams. The reality? It's a hybrid model. The product is the engine, absolutely. It's powerful, it's the core, but it's not the whole car. You still need sales and marketing. They're just not doing the same old things anymore. Their jobs have been completely reshaped.
So if it's a hybrid, who are these unseen partners working in the shadows? Well, they're not unseen at all. It's the very teams that pure PLG was supposed to make obsolete. Yep, sales and marketing. Let's dig into how they actually fit into this new world.
Think of it like this. The product's self-serve free version is the front door to a massive party. You're letting anyone and everyone walk in, try it out, and see how cool it is. But then you notice something. 20 people from the same company all walk in wearing the same t-shirt. Ding, ding, ding. That's a signal. That's when your smart sales and marketing team step in and say, hey, instead of just 20 people, let's get your whole company in on this.
And what's really cool is how these jobs change as the company grows. In the early days, marketing is all about just getting those first few people in the door to get the party started. Then, once you've got some momentum, marketing's job is to pour gasoline on the fire. And finally, and this is the real moneymaker, when you see that organic usage bubbling up inside a big company, that's like the bat signal for the sales team to swoop in and land that massive enterprise deal.
So this all leads us to a much better, much more honest definition. Product-led growth isn't about getting rid of your go-to-market teams. It's a strategy where the product is the star player that drives initial adoption, but it's supported by a completely reimagined sales and marketing team that's trained to spot and capture the huge opportunities the product creates.
Okay, so we've met the players in this hybrid system, but how does it all work together? What's the actual machine that creates this repeatable, sustainable growth? Well, the answer is a beautiful concept called the PLG flywheel.
I love this quote from Ellis, one of the pioneers of this whole thing from his time at Dropbox. He said, "The best PLG acts like a video game." It's such a perfect analogy. So what does he mean by that?
Well, think about any great video game. The first level is easy, it's probably free, and it gets you hooked. That's step one. Then, as you play more, you start unlocking new levels, new features, maybe you get bonuses for inviting friends. You're leveling up. All that engagement makes you a more valuable player, or in this case, a customer with a higher lifetime value. And when your customers are more valuable, you can afford to spend more to find new players, which just spins the whole flywheel faster and faster.
So, when you start to see PLG not as a magic trick, but as this interconnected system, this flywheel, it totally shifts the conversation. It's no longer a simple debate. It becomes a much more interesting, practical question of strategy.
But look, before we get too carried away, we have to be honest. This is not a one-size-fits-all solution. This flywheel model probably isn't for you if your product is super complex and costs $1 million, or if it costs you a ton of money for every single new user, or if there's just no easy way for someone to sign up and start getting value right away.
And because it's not a silver bullet, it means a lot of leaders out there are asking the completely wrong question. They treat it like a light switch. They ask, should we be PLG? Yes or no? And that question, it just completely misses the point.
The much, much better question, the more powerful question is this. How do we make our product the core engine of our growth? See the difference? It's not about slapping a label on your strategy. It's about fundamentally rethinking how you use your product to attract people, to convert them, and to grow with them over time.
So there you have it. The myth of the product that sells itself is just that, a myth. The reality is a smarter, more integrated system where the product, marketing, and sales all work together. Which brings us to the real question I'll leave you with. Do you think a pure PLG can actually work? Or is this hybrid model the undisputed future of how great companies are built?